Welcome, deep divers. Have you ever found yourself in a situation, maybe leading a business or even just thinking about your own career, where it feels like you're constantly locked in this brutal, unending battle?
Yeah, against a sea of rivals, right.
Exactly. It's that familiar grind where everyone seems to be fighting over the same customers, pushing out similar stuff, and those profit margins just get squeezed thinner and thinner.
We often call that the red ocean. It's a pretty vivid term.
It really is. Captures that sort of cutthroat nature of established, very competitive markets.
Mm.
But what if there was a strategic way to not just survive it, but to actually, escape it entirely?
Move beyond just trying to edge out your rivals.
Yes, and instead make them irrelevant.
That's the big idea.
So today, we're diving deep into a really powerful analytical tool. It comes from that landmark work, Blue Ocean Strategy.
The strategy canvas.
That's the one. The strategy canvas. And our mission for you, listening in, is to really equip you with this visual framework.
So you can map out your industry, right? See the competitive landscape clearly.
Precisely. And then, crucially, use it to fundamentally reinvent how you deliver value to buyers.
The ultimate goal being?
Unlocking totally new, uncontested market spaces.
Yeah.
Finding and creating your very own blue ocean.
So it's not just about tweaking things.
Not at all. It's about seeing the world differently and drawing a whole new map, basically.
It's a compelling challenge, definitely, and frankly, pretty vital in today's business world.
It seems like it.
Yeah, pursuing a blue ocean asks for more than just, incremental improvements. It needs a fundamental shift in how you think.
A whole new perspective.
Exactly. It reminds me of Machiavelli, actually. Way back in The Prince, he observed how hard it is to establish a new order of things.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Well, innovators, people trying new ways, they often face real opposition from those who did well under the old system.
Makes sense. They have something to lose.
Right. And on the other side, you only get sort of lukewarm support from those who might gain from the new way. Because, the future's uncertain.
Less certain than the present, yeah.
So that historical context kind of underscores how big a deal and how challenging pursuing this uncontested market space really is. It's about foundational change.
Not just polishing the edges.
Precisely. And building on that, you have Professor Michael Porter. He famously insisted that operational excellence being faster, cheaper, more efficient, well, absolutely vital.
You need it, of course.
Of course. But it's not strategy in itself. He made that crucial distinction.
Why not, if you're better operationally?
Because those enhancements, being faster or cheaper, can often be mimicked by competitors. Our sources, like 7 Powers, echo this. If it can be easily copied, it doesn't give you a long-term advantage.
Ah, okay. It doesn't create a lasting barrier.
Exactly. It doesn't create what 7 Powers calls true process power, that sustained, really hard to replicate advantage built into how you operate.
I see. So today's deep dive isn't just about beating the competition.
No. It's about learning how to transcend it, how to make that whole traditional competitive fight, well, unnecessary.
Wow, okay. That's a powerful distinction. It sets the stage perfectly. So let's unpack this idea of red oceans versus blue oceans first.
Good idea. Understand the starting point.
Right. You need to know where you are to figure out where you want to go. The authors of Blue Ocean Strategy describe that traditional space as the red ocean.
The existing industries.
Yeah. Where the boundaries are defined, the rules are known. Everyone's playing on the same familiar field.
And fighting fiercely.
Fiercely. For existing, often shrinking, demand. It's like that crowded swimming pool analogy. Everyone's splashing, vying for limited space.
Which inevitably drives down prices, hurts profits.
And turns the market bloody, as they say, metaphorically speaking, because the competition is just so intense.
And businesses in that red ocean spend a lot of time looking over their shoulder, right?
Constantly. Benchmarking competitors, trying to outperform them on the same existing factors, trying to be a slightly faster, slightly cheaper version of what's already out there.
Just more the same, essentially.
Pretty much. And this is where the real pitfalls of that traditional strategy show up.
Like we just touched on with Porter.
Exactly. Just improving operational excellence isn't strategy. Getting better daily is good, obviously, but it only becomes that process power source, as 7 Powers puts it, if there's a really tough, long-lasting barrier stopping others from copying you.
Otherwise, any gain is temporary. You're back in the red ocean fight.
Just running faster on the same treadmill. And there's another trap, highlighted in Red Ocean Traps.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Treating market-creating strategies as if they were just niche strategies.
Subtle but important. Explain that.
It's when companies use finer and finer market segmentation,
Hmm.
targeting super specific groups to capture small pockets within the existing market.
Instead of creating a truly new market space altogether.
Exactly. You're still fighting for a slice of the same old pie. The example given is Delta's Song Airline.
Right. That was their low-cost attempt.
Yeah, aimed at a niche within low-cost carriers. But ultimately, it didn't create new space. It was just, a different color fish in the same crowded sea.
And it eventually got folded back into Delta.
Yep, caught in a red ocean trap because it never really broke out of the existing competitive framework.
That's a crucial point about the niche trap. And what's really fascinating is just how deeply ingrained this red ocean thinking gets inside organizations.
It seems almost default.
It often leads to fundamental management failures. Many leaders, as discussed in Playing to Win, let the urgent day-to-day stuff, the constant demands of the existing market, completely crowd out the important long-term strategic thinking.
Firefighting instead of planning.
Exactly. So instead of crafting a clear winning strategy that creates new value, they approach strategy in ways that are ineffective because they're stuck in that competitive, reactive mode.
Do we have examples of that?
Oh, there's a stark one. A $250 million reminder, actually. The story of the Edsel from Business Adventures.
The car. Ford, right? Mid-50s.
That's the one. Ford poured enormous money and effort into designing it. But what did they design? A car that pretty much conformed to the fashion of the day.
Long, wide, low, lots of chrome.
All of it. Gadgets, powerful engines. They basically benchmarked the competition in the medium price range meticulously.
So built to fit in.
Precisely. Aimed to sell 200,000 in the first year. Huge fanfare. And it flopped. Spectacularly.
Wow.
It was a classic Me Too strategy. It didn't create new value, didn't break away. It was designed to conform to what they thought the market wanted based on competitors, not to create something new.
That Edsel story is really sobering. Highlights that danger of, what did you call it, competitive convergence.
Exactly. Everyone starts looking the same. It makes you wonder, though. Leaders obviously want to innovate. So what's the deep-seated reason, psychological, organizational, that even smart people with huge resources keep making that mistake? Designing for conformity, not creativity.
That's a great question. Fear of the unknown or just being too stuck in what worked before?
Could be both.
I think it taps into several things. There's definitely comfort in the known. It's easier to analyze competitors. You have benchmarks, data, existing segments.
Whereas venturing into new territory
means operating without a map. No direct competitors to measure against. And that feels risky, especially for big organizations with lots of stakeholders.
True. And maybe it ties back to Porter's point, too.
How so?
Well, it's easier to focus on what you can measure and optimize the operational stuff than it is to envision something that doesn't exist yet.
Ah, I see. And that's exactly where our next tool, the strategy canvas, really comes into its own, right? It helps make that unknown a bit more visible.
It gives you that map, or at least the tools to draw one.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting and very practical. The strategy canvas is your first tangible step out of that red ocean, your chart for finding clearer waters.
As laid out in Blue Ocean Strategy.
Yep. It's described as a diagnostic tool, but also action-oriented. Its main purpose is to visually map the current competitive landscape of your whole industry.
Not just numbers on a page, but a picture.
Exactly. A living picture that captures the current state of play. It shows you where your industry invests its resources, what factors it really competes on, and what value customers are actually getting from all that effort.
Okay, so how does it work? What are the parts?
Good question. You need to grasp its two fundamental components. First, the x-axis, the horizontal one.
Along the bottom.
Right. You list all the key factors that companies in your industry currently compete on and invest in.
Give me some examples.
It could be anything, really. Price, specific product features, customer service levels, advertising spend, distribution channels, maybe customization.
The things businesses use to try and win customers.
Yeah.
The battlegrounds.
Precisely. Then, on the y-axis, the vertical one,
Going up the side.
you represent the offering level that buyers receive across each of those factors. This can range from low to high.
Okay, so for each factor on the bottom, you plot how much is offered.
Exactly. How much is offered or how much investment is made by your company and your key competitors.
Right, so you can compare.
Now imagine drawing your as-is value curve. This is crucial. You start by systematically identifying all those competing factors defining your industry today.
The x-axis stuff we just talked about.
Correct. Then, for each factor, you plot the offering level high or low for your own company and for your main competitors.
So you get a set of dots for each player.
Exactly. And when you connect the dots for each player, you get their unique value curve.
Ah, a visual profile of their strategy.
Precisely. It shows your strategic profile and, crucially, how it compares to your rivals. And this isn't just a one-time thing. Blue Ocean leadership notes how teams often draw and redraw these canvases.
It's iterative.
Very iterative and collaborative.
Yep.
They even present them at leadership fairs. It shows how practical it is.
And seeing those curves lead out side by side.
Often presents a sobering reality. A clear, sometimes uncomfortable picture of why change is needed. You see how similar everyone really is.
It makes the invisible forces of competition visible, undeniably visible.
That visual clarity is incredibly powerful. It quickly shows if you're just, a slightly different shade of red in that red ocean.
Which leads to an important question. What makes a good value curve? One that actually points towards a blue ocean, not just a less crowded bit of the red.
Is there a test for that?
There is. Blue Ocean's strategy outlines 3 crucial criteria. Think of them as an initial litmus test for whether a blue ocean idea is strategically strong and commercially viable.
Okay, what are they?
First, the strategy must show focus.
The focus, meaning
Meaning, the company's value curve should clearly emphasize certain factors and deliberately de-emphasize or even eliminate others.
not trying to be everything to everyone.
Exactly. If your curve is high on every single factor, it usually signals a really high-cost structure and a complex, hard-to-execute business model. Lack of focus is a red flag.
Okay, focus. What's second?
Second, there must be clear divergence.
Standing out.
Plainly, the canvas should show your offering is distinctly different from competitors, not just a me-too with marginal improvements.
Needs a compelling reason for customers to choose you.
Precisely. A reason to stand apart. Without divergence, you're still just another player in the red ocean facing the same pressures. Your curve needs to look different.
Makes sense. Focus, divergence. And the third,
Finally, a good blue ocean strategy needs a compelling tagline.
a tagline, like a marketing slogan.
Not just that, it's more fundamental. It needs to be a clear, concise statement that powerfully speaks to buyers, articulating the unique value in an easy-to-grasp way.
So, customer focus, not just internal jargon.
Exactly. If the strategy lacks that kind of tagline, it's probably internally driven, maybe innovation for innovation's sake, without real commercial potential or the ability to connect with customers.
An internal monologue, not an invitation.
Well put. And this connects directly back to Peter Drucker. In the practice of management, he said the first job of top management is always asking and correctly answering, what is our business?
And the value curve helps answer that.
A clear, focused, divergent value curve, especially one with a compelling tagline, is the answer to that question. It defines your identity and how you create unique value.
It also sounds a bit like Simon Sinek's Start With Why.
Absolutely. People don't just follow what you do, they follow why you do it. A compelling tagline speaks to that deeper why. It gives your strategy purpose, attracts loyal followers, resonates emotionally.
Gives it soul, beyond just features and price.
Exactly.
That distinction between internal slogans and an external compelling tagline is really important, translating strategic choices into something meaningful for customers.
It has to resonate outwards.
Okay, so you've charted your as-is landscape, but you've maybe faced that sobering reality of how similar everyone looks. Now what? Time for action, right?
Now you need to reshape that curve.
This is where the powerful 4 actions framework comes in. It's a systematic, structured way to reconstruct buyer value and start charting your course out.
The ERPC framework.
Yes, eliminate, reduce, raise, create. ERPC. What's brilliant about it is that it challenges the 2 conventional approaches businesses usually take.
Which are?
Either differentiate by increasing value, which usually means increasing cost.
Or pursue low cost, which often means reducing value, the classic trade-off.
Right, but the 4 actions framework lets you pursue both differentiation and low cost simultaneously.
Achieving what Blue Ocean strategy calls value innovation, breaking that value-cost trade-off.
Exactly. It's a deliberate strategy to do both. Let's break down each of those 4 actions because applying them is where the magic happens.
Okay, let's go through them.
First, eliminate. This asks a really tough question. Which factors that the industry has competed on for ages should be completely eliminated?
Factors everyone takes for granted. Industry standards.
Exactly. Things considered must-haves. But maybe, if you're honest, they don't add real value to buyers anymore. And they often add significant cost.
Like features nobody uses or services people don't care about.
Perfect examples. Removing these can lead to huge cost savings and simplify your offering. You have to question the sacred cows.
Okay, eliminate. What's next?
Second is reduce. Here you ask, which factors should be reduced well below the industry standard?
So, not gone completely, but dialed way back.
Right. This helps cut costs further without sacrificing what buyers truly value. It forces you to ask, are we over-engineering this? Are we over-serving customers in ways they don't appreciate or won't pay for?
Like overly fancy packaging or excessive advertising with diminishing returns.
Exactly. Or complex features only a tiny fraction of users ever touch. Find that point of diminishing returns and pull back.
Got it. Eliminate, reduce, then we must go up.
Third is raise. This is about elevating your offering.
Yeah.
Which factors should be raised well above the industry standard?
Okay, this is where you start differentiating positively.
Yes. You intentionally enhance core elements of value for buyers, taking them to a new, higher level that really creates a distinctive offering.
Like amazing customer service or much better reliability.
Could be. Or unique design elements that delight customers. It's not just incremental improvement, it's a leap upwards on key factors.
Right. Eliminate, reduce, raise. What's the last one?
And finally, arguably the most innovative part, create. This asks, which entirely new factors should be created that the industry has never offered before?
This is the real blue ocean part, building something new.
This is the engine of new demand, key to unlocking that uncontested space. And Blue Ocean Strategy stresses this isn't necessarily about tech innovation alone, though tech can help.
It's about value innovation.
Exactly. Innovation linked directly to what buyers value. Solving unmet needs, offering totally new benefits. As 7 Power says, all power starts with invention. Creating new factors is that invention.
Offering something truly novel and desirable that maybe wasn't even imagined before.
That's the goal.
You know, it almost sounds too simple when you break it down like that. Eliminate, reduce, raise, create.
It does have a certain elegance.
But I think that simplicity is its genius. It forces you to strip away all the assumptions, all the this is how we've always done it baggage.
Like a business detox, as you said earlier.
Yeah. And when you look at companies that truly shook things up, often they didn't start with some massive R&D project. They started with someone asking, what if we just stopped doing that? Or what if we offered this instead?
That's a great point. It connects back to reconsidering the whole model.
Exactly. This framework forces a deep, holistic look at your entire business model, not just tweaking a product. And the real power is in doing these actions simultaneously.
Right. Eliminate and reduce cut costs.
While raise and create lift value and differentiation.
So you get both differentiation and low cost.
Yeah.
Breaking the old trade-off.
Fundamentally altering the value equation for customers. And we see echoes of this everywhere in successful business stories, even if they didn't explicitly use the canvas.
Like who?
Well, take Netflix versus Blockbuster. Classic example from 7 Powers. Netflix's original DVD business used counterpositioning against Blockbuster's stores.
How does that fit ERPC?
Think about it. They eliminated late fees, a huge customer pain point, and a revenue driver for Blockbuster. They reduced the need for physical stores, shifting to online and mail.
Okay.
But what did they create? A new level of convenience and selection. A huge catalog delivered to your door, subscription model. It was fundamentally different.
Not just better. And they built that process power with their logistics.
Right. A barrier Blockbuster couldn't easily replicate. Or look at Amazon Web Services, AWS, discussed in Blitzscaling and the Everything Store.
Amazon's cloud business.
Yeah. Amazon initially minimized its own infrastructure costs, then became a giant. AWS literally created a new service by letting other companies use its infrastructure.
Turning an internal cost center into a massive profit engine.
Exactly. Same with Fulfillment by Amazon creating a service using their logistics mastery for other merchants. That terrified UPS and FedEx. Pure create actions.
Wow. Turning internal strengths outward.
Even early Starbucks, the Il Journal store Howard Schultz started, as described in Pour Your Heart Into It.
What do they do?
They focused on speed, became a gathering place. They created a system to serve 3 kinds of drip coffee at once. They significantly raised convenience, customization, the whole experience way beyond the norm then.
Made it a destination, not just a transaction.
Exactly. And of course, Walmart. Sam Walton, right. From Sam Walton Made in America.
Obsessed with low prices.
Utterly obsessed. Which meant a massive reduce across countless factors, supply chain, overhead, everything. Their huge scale in purchasing, as Blue Ocean Strategy notes, became a powerful economic barrier.
Discouraging imitation.
Significantly, they created a blue ocean of everyday low prices competitors just couldn't match profitably.
These are powerful examples. What's also interesting is you mentioned incumbents.
Yes, it's important. While we often think of startups creating blue oceans, Blue Ocean Strategy actually challenges that.
Saying startups don't have all the advantages.
Right. In fact, most blue oceans are created from within existing red oceans by incumbents. Companies with the courage and vision to rethink their core business, often leveraging existing assets in new ways.
So established players can make the leap.
Absolutely. The final output of this whole ERPC process is that new value curve, distinctly different, focused, divergent, and hopefully with that compelling tagline we talked about.
That's a critical point. Blue oceans aren't just for the new kids on the block. Existing companies have the resources, the market knowledge.
If they have the will and the framework.
Okay, so you've done it. You've navigated to a blue ocean, crafted this amazing new value curve. But as you said, imitation is natural. How do you stop others copying you and turning your lovely blue ocean red again?
Or at least murky. Yeah, protecting that new space is vital for the long haul.
So how do you build defenses?
Blue Ocean Strategy outlines several barriers to imitation. First, there are significant economic barriers.
Like what?
One is a natural monopoly situation. The market just isn't big enough to support another major player. The example given is Kinepolis's megaplex cinema in Brussels.
New and imitated for decades.
Nearly 30 years. Because the second one would likely cause both to fail. Another barrier comes from high volume and cost advantages.
Because the value innovation takes off quickly.
Often, yes. Leads to rapid, high-volume sales, giving you huge cost advantages through scale that potential copycats can't match without massive risk and investment. Think Walmart again.
Their purchasing power.
Exactly. And finally, network externalities.
Like social media.
Perfect example. The more users a platform like Twitter has, the more valuable it is, making it hard for users to switch to a new, empty competitor, even if it's similar. The network is the value.
Okay, economic barriers. What else?
Then you have legal barriers. Patents, permits they grant exclusive rights for a time, giving you a protected window to solidify your position.
Makes sense.
And then there's the powerful, more organic force of brand buzz and customer loyalty.
The soft stuff that's hard to replicate.
Exactly. A big leap in value often quickly earns strong brand buzz and a really loyal following. Even aggressive imitators with huge ad budgets struggle to overcome that.
Like Microsoft trying to beat Quicken.
Perfect example. Microsoft poured resources into Microsoft Money for years, trying to dislodge Intuit's Quicken, but they couldn't.
Quicken's loyal base was too strong.
Too strong. Microsoft Money eventually shut down. That loyalty and brand recognition built around real value created an almost impenetrable barrier.
And there's another one you mentioned, often overlooked.
Yes, a really sticky one. Learning relationships. From, do you want to keep your customers forever?
How does that work as a barrier?
When customers continuously teach a company about their preferences, their needs, how they use things, the company gets smarter and smarter about serving that specific customer.
The company learns from the interaction.
Constantly. The more they interact, the better the company gets at anticipating needs, providing exactly what they want, sometimes before they even ask.
And that makes it hard for a competitor.
Incredibly hard. Because the customer would have to spend a huge amount of time and energy teaching the competitor everything the original company already knows about them.
It's like an investment the customer's made.
Exactly. A shared, evolving knowledge base. It's not just loyalty, it's deeply embedded switching costs based on knowledge.
That idea of learning relationships is brilliant.
Yeah.
A barrier that gets stronger over time. It makes me wonder, though, beyond these external barriers, what about internal capabilities? What does an organization need inside to create and sustain these new markets?
Great question. It's not just about the initial idea, it's about the organizational muscle to execute, adapt, and keep evolving it.
Right, because the ocean doesn't stay blue forever without effort.
Exactly. Strategic flexibility talks about the importance of local innovativeness. Innovation often starts in pockets within a company.
So you need to capture that.
Capture it and spread it. Firms need to be able to systematically create new, unique knowledge and then effectively transfer it throughout the organization. That's how you build firm-wide competence.
A learning organization, really.
At its core, it's a dynamic view. Gains come from ongoing learning, nurturing competence, and spreading that knowledge so it doesn't get stuck in silos.
And culture must play a huge role here, too.
Paramount. often the biggest internal hurdle. The technological revolution in financial services gives the example of traditional banks struggling against agile big techs.
Why do they struggle? Legacy IT?
Partly, but also their hierarchical, profit-driven cultures that do not support experimentation and failure, agility, and innovation.
They aren't built for the uncertainty of blue oceans.
Exactly. Blue ocean creation needs a culture that embraces calculated risks, learns fast from failures, innovates constantly, sees failure as learning, not
A
disaster.
very different mindset.
Completely. And of course, it all hinges on effective leadership and teamwork.
Back to Drucker.
Drucker's essentials. Asking what needs to be done, clear action plans, focusing on opportunities, running productive meetings, all fundamental for implementing and sustaining these strategies.
And teams.
Crucial. The discipline of teams emphasizes that for complex outcomes and creating a new market is definitely complex, teams need to grow and learn together. Individuals rarely have all the answers or skills.
Especially for the create part of the framework.
Absolutely. It's that synthesis of diverse perspectives, openly debated, that fuels radical invention and unlocks new value.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, our listener, navigating your own world? The strategy canvas isn't just some academic model.
It's intensely practical.
It's a pragmatic, powerful, visual call to action, a way to really reevaluate where you stand, understand the landscape you're really in.
And then a framework to intentionally create your own uncontested space.
We've taken a deep dive today. We've covered mapping your competitive landscape, identifying your current value curve,
Seeing how you stack up
and then applying that transformative 4 actions framework: eliminate, reduce, raise, create.
to forge a new curve, a new value proposition.
The core takeaway is huge. The goal isn't just being incrementally better than competitors. It's about redefining value so fundamentally that your rivals become, well, simply irrelevant.
And not just changing your product, you're changing the game itself.
Precisely.
And the enduring power here, I think, lies in recognizing what Seven Power stated. All power starts with invention.
The canvas is a path to that invention.
A concrete, actionable path, shifting you from being reactive in a crowded field to being a proactive creator of new value. It's about seeing possibilities where others only see saturation.
A structured way to unlock creativity.
Yes. So as you think about your own industry, your own business, maybe even personal projects, consider this. Don't just ask where you can compete better. Ask where you can stop competing entirely.
A provocative thought to end on.
What assumption, what ingrained factor, if you truly understood its impact on value and cost, could you eliminate or create that would utterly redefine the game for everyone else?
Giving you that uncontested blue ocean space.
That's the challenge and the incredible opportunity presented by the strategy canvas and the blue ocean mindset.